Blessings to your day. Yes, I never knew love like this, guys. Come on in and join me. Good morning. Happy sunrise. Grand rising, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning for Give Me My Rights, WRITES Daily Podcast with Nadine Poetry One. You guys, I am one word, I am one number. Okay, Alexa, replay that song. That is some classic R&B I got playing by Mr. Alexander O'Neal featuring Sherelle. Classic, classic, classic. Okay, guys, come on in, come on in. It is a great morning in our lives, okay? And we've already received our first blessing of the day because we have opened our eyes. So thank you, Lord. Guys, this is Give Me My Rights Daily Podcast with Nadine Poetry One. This is the podcast where I use some of my original quotes to hopefully encourage and inspire your day. And if I am doing this correctly, you guys will be able to sustain a smile throughout your whole day, just feeling confident about who you are, you know, how life is treating you. Even if there are complications, we always have a reason to smile because living is the greatest thing of all things, right? So I welcome you to today. It is the middle of the week, and I am happy to be a part of it. I am happy to be living in it. So guys, come in and please be tapping the screen. Show me you are in this quote flow this morning. And I'm going to go ahead and get right into the quote. I think this one is pretty good. And, you know, guys, I want you guys to lend your ears because it's good. You know, I try to give quotes that are going to resonate with you well. You know, something to help us think about life, you know, in a positive manner. Something to help us think about life and how to possibly use great discernment when we are thinking about our lives in particularly, right? So that's the goal here. And most importantly, to hopefully have us all smiling, just feeling confident about who we are and just feeling alive, you know, happy to be alive, right? So I am the poet outside of the box. And again, I thank you guys for joining me for Give Me My Rights, WRITES Daily Podcast. Again, with Nadine Poetry One, on one word, on one number. I got some classic R&B playing in the background. Alexander O'Neal featuring Sherelle. And my hair looks a little wacky this morning, but you know, it's morning time. It is what it is, right? But let's go ahead and get into the quote because this one is a good one. The quote today is, shy about it, unafraid to shout it. Shy about it, unafraid to shout it. Okay, again, the quote is, shy about it, unafraid to shout it. We should not be backed into a corner to be made to say things that we really do not want to say, right? Even if we know that it has to be said. Sometimes you just don't want to say it. And people have the tendency of saying, tell them, because you know something to be true. You know, they want to hear you say it. They need you to co-sign. Right? They need you to be the additional piece to their puzzle so they can solve their puzzle. Some people do not always like the way we say certain things, you know? That's the reality. People do not always like the way things come out, right? And I personally really dislike I personally, guys, excuse me, really dislike being led to speak on things that can be uncomfortable for another person, even if it is true. Even if it is true. Contrary to belief, many people do not want to speak about everything everywhere. They really, really do not. You know, people don't want to speak about everything everywhere. There is a time and a place. You guys know that saying, right? There's a time and a place for everything, right? It may be inappropriate to talk about certain things in certain places around certain groups of people. In some particular moments where it is requested or suggested that we speak, guys, I had my tea this morning, okay? It may not be the right moment. It may not be the right moment. Maybe there is a situation going on or an ordeal, or maybe there's just a whole lot of stuff going on. For me, that is when I am too shy to speak about certain topics. Excuse me. Lemon tea, guys. I like my tea fresh fruit, right? But that is when I am too shy to speak about certain topics when a whole lot is going on, all right? Because it can make someone feel uncomfortable about something that we all know to be true. Why speak of it then? Can we find another time? I really dislike being forced to speak about someone on something that is sensitive and it comes out the wrong way. Because representation and presentation is so important, you know? And oftentimes this happens, you know, when, you know, it's not something that I'm prepared to speak about. So it may come out the wrong way. I'm put on the spot to talk about something, you know, to prove a point for someone else, you know, but I wasn't prepared to prove that point, even though what I'm going to speak about is known to be true. I want to be prepared, whatever it is that I'm speaking about, around people, about people. Right? Or maybe the people that heard what I have to say are not ready to receive it. So it came out wrong, or it sounded like it came out wrong because they were not ready to receive it. For this reason, I am a little bit shy to speak on topics that concern others. I am. And we should all appear to shy away from speaking on certain topics that concern others. And we should also careful ourselves when asked to verify relative information that is necessarily useful to solve a problem. It doesn't mean that we need to speak about it, but sometimes someone will put us on the spot if they have a point to prove. And although it may be something important going on, you know, and I would say so may be an important implementation into whatever is being conversed, you know, we still should attempt to stay on topics that we want to speak about. It's more comforting, and we don't have to shy away. Otherwise, I don't really want to say anything. Make sense? Today, I feel that we should choose to keep some of our words to ourselves. Let us choose to keep some of our words to ourselves, right? We don't have to instigate, and we don't have to infiltrate the conversation that doesn't concern us all of the time. Even if someone is trying to put us on the spot so they can prove a point, right? Or add a piece to their puzzle to solve whatever it is they're trying to solve, sometimes we can keep our words to ourselves. Not all things are meant to be said at the time that others will expect us to say certain things, as well as some things are better left unsaid, right? Discernment plays a big role in what we say, where we say it, how we say it, and when we say certain things. Or else, someone in the intermittence of the conversation will be hurt or confused by certain statements that are being made. And we don't want to be a part of that. Although it may be something that we're speaking about that we know to be true. And again, maybe those people are not ready to receive it, what we're saying. So why should we be forced to speak about something, although it may be true, just may not be the right time or the right place? No one feels comfortable speaking out of place unless you're that type that like to be messy and say things inappropriately in places at a bad time around the wrong people. Outside of that, no one wants to speak out of place, causing a mental displacement for another human being. No one likes to do that. I know I don't. The word told me, sin is not ended by multiplying words, but the prudent holds their tongues. Sin is not ended by multiplying words, but the prudent holds their tongue, says the Proverbs. For this reason, to me, it is not okay, to speak out of turn or be forced to say something to prove a point for another individual. For this reason, I dislike being in a predicament where we feel forced to speak the truth about something involving someone else and causing displeasure. I'm careful. I'm very careful. And I like to shy away from those topics that don't concern me, but is some truthful discomfort about or for someone else, right? This may cause someone else to face regret of some past actions that it is not my job to bring up. And it may be a statement that they said that can cause chaos among a few. That's not my job to bring it up. But sometimes we are putting situations where we have to speak about something that we know to be true. Maybe we witnessed it. Maybe we heard it from someone that is a trustworthy source, and we know it to be true about someone else, but it just is not the time or the place to say it. And because we're unprepared to say it, it may come out the wrong way, and it may be received the wrong way. The perception of what we say to someone or about someone is highly important, because we want to make sure that the message that we are conveying is well received, but not to the capacity where somebody or multiple people are offended by how or what we say, even if we are speaking in truth. Right? When the emphasis of a topic during a conversation invokes disagreement, I'm always willing to shy away, about speaking about something that I know to be true, but hurtful toward someone else. And I'm shy in certain instances, and speaking out of turn is one of them for me. I don't want to step on nobody's toes, and I certainly don't want to hurt anyone's feelings about something that does not concern me. I just don't. And we may find that it is better to speak of things that fully concern us as individuals than to be initiated into being a missing piece to prove someone else's puzzle is complete. It's not fair. So I'm careful, right? Therefore, it is always better to keep our tongues to ourselves, or disengage when tensions begin to arise from topics that we possibly know about but don't want to engage, right? I'm here with mine. I can keep my tongue in my mouth. It's meant to be in my mouth. And I prefer to shout, to help out if an emergency exists, or maybe shout about a celebratory happening for someone that I appreciate, or shout laughter when humor is present. I prefer to shout about those things and shy away from, being a part of a conversation that can disrupt somebody's happiness or joyful moment. And I prefer to shy away from being forced to discuss something that proves someone else to be right, and it is not a good thing. I shy away from that. Don't call me. I know it happened, but I don't want to be included. Please don't include me. I prefer that. Because the reality is, it does not always concern us, but somebody wants to pull us in to what they feel they need to prove. And we must careful ourselves with the directions that we use to slay our tongues, because not every direction is going to be a perfect route. It can be the route just to break somebody's heart, to hurt someone's feelings, to make them feel uncomfortable. And that is not my job, nor is it my goal to make anyone feel that way. So for that reason, I am careful about what I say, when I say, how I say, and where I say it, and to who I say it to. Even if it must be said, presentation is everything. I must present it well, so it can be received well without any offenses. Verbally, if someone is hurt or embarrassed, right? Not one person in that conversation has won. No one has won. And you have the people that think, I done got them together. I done said it. I told them about themselves. Don't let me mess around and find out, right? It doesn't mean that they win the conversation. It's a conflict amongst maybe two or a group, but nobody wins in that, right? Today, I feel like we would be okay smiling about, shying away from speaking out of turn, right? Don't feel the need to be included in every conversation, even if you know what they're talking about, some of the information to be true. It doesn't mean that I need to feel like I need to be included. What they say, I was there. No, I shy away from that, because sometimes our silence is where the lesson is learned. Yes. Silence sometimes speaks volumes right? And silence is sometimes where the lesson is learned, because although we know it to be true, and although we decided that we're going to shy away from saying it, it doesn't mean that we don't know what's true, you know, and it doesn't mean that we're afraid to say certain things. We just are using our discernment, knowing that it's inappropriate, it's not the right place, and it's not the right time. So why say it? Silence is where the lesson can be learned, right? So, guys, let us not be involved in every conversation that does not concern us. In fact, let us hold our tongue and let things play out around us, or excuse ourselves so it doesn't play out around us, so we don't witness anything. Silence is where the lesson is learned. Guys, blessings to your day, okay? And listen, guys, I am also the host of Imperfect Poetry Thursday. I've been on a little hiatus, right? Taking a little break, but I have 2 more that I'm going to do before the year is out. So join me tomorrow night or Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Imperfect Poetry Thursday, where I share some of my copywritten poetry with the listeners and the viewers, and we have some great music, and we turn up and have a good time. It's like a pre-Friday, right? And we have some great poetry, and most of the poetry is written in metaphor, you know, so the conversation is normally just a breakdown of what was in the mind of the poet, when I wrote the poetry, and I disclose, you know, where it stemmed from, the writing stemmed from, you know, in my mind, in my heart, or what I've witnessed, you know, those type of things. And I ask that you guys, if you are available for tomorrow night, pick your favorite social media platform and join me at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Imperfect Poetry Thursday with Nadine Poetry One. I'm one word, I am one number. Okay, guys? I am also the owner and founder of Skin Poetry One, which is my organic skin oil butters line that was formulated for severe dry skin, to help treat severe dry skin. And those of you who do not suffer from severe dry skin, this product is good for helping you to maintain the moisture within. Check it out. It's good stuff. Okay, you can go ahead and place your order on my website at https://skinpoetry1.nadinepoetry1.com. Now, I do have a page here on TikTok where you can look at the items and the information, you know, about the product and put your order in. But I'm asking people at this time to pause on ordering through TikTok, because there are some discrepancies with TikTok that need to be worked out. Yes, I'm saying it. Okay, so because of that, I don't want any orders to go through that website and not be fulfilled. So it is better to direct you guys to go directly to my website at https://skinpoetry1.nadinepoetry1.com. Okay, guys, you can also go to Facebook and Instagram where there are no discrepancies, and you can place your order through there. I get plenty of orders through Instagram as well as the website, you know, and through Facebook. So check it out. You know, Skin Poetry One organic skin oil butters. We have a variety of products that are good for all skin types and all age groups. My products offer no chemicals, no carcinogens, no artificial color, no artificial fragrance, no synthetic ingredients whatsoever. Just a plant-based skin moisturizer. We use 6 to 8 products, so you don't get a whole paragraph of all these scientific words that you can't pronounce. Every ingredient in our product can be pronounced by you and even a 5-year-old in your family, because it's organic, nature-grown stuff put in a jar, all right, a 100% sustainable jar that is used, you can recycle or reuse it, okay, and you got these good ingredients that are safe for your skin and for the earth and every age group and all skin types of your family. Check it out, Skin Poetry One organic skin oil butters, guys. Get the experience. It is worth the moisture, all right? The stuff is moving. We have great stuff, and we got healing properties from the organically grown plants that are pressed to get those healing oils out, infused with organic raw shea butters and mango butters and cocoa butters, all types of great things for your skin, all natural. It's good stuff for men and women, children, granny, grandpa, friends, and cousins, and it's just really good stuff. You get a natural glow on your skin, as you can see that on mine, okay? That's what happens with your skin, and it stays. It's healthy, all right? Our stuff is non-comedogenic, so it does not block your pores. It allows your skin to breathe healthy and look naturally beautiful with the natural glow that nature intended for your skin. Check it out. Skin Poetry One organic skin oil butters, guys. Get the experience. It is worth the moisture. As for me, I'm not going to monopolize any more of your day. I just wanted to say that we have to get in the habit of learning to hold our tongue. Even if we know something to be true, if the conversation does not concern us, don't let nobody back us into a wall and make us feel like we need to be a part of a conversation just to prove a point for them. It doesn't concern us. Why back us into a wall to make us speak about something? Yeah, we may know what was going on, but maybe it is not the appropriate time in the appropriate place around the appropriate group of people to discuss what we know to be true. Sometimes silence is where the lesson is learned, right? So today, let's choose to hold back our words and just live in silence and watch things play out with you outside of it, not engaging. As for me, guys, I thank you for joining me for another Give Me My Rights Daily Podcast, WRITES, with Nadine Poetry One. I'm one word, I one number. Join me again on Friday morning for Give Me My Rights, WRITES. I love doing that. On Friday morning, so I can come with another quote to hopefully encourage and inspire your day. And I hope that this quote was the quote that you will use today to help you smile, knowing that you have disengaged, you have shied away from being in the mess that is going on in conversations around you. Even if you know what's going on, it doesn't mean that we have to engage, right? So, blessings to your day. Grand rising, happy sunrise. You all are beautiful. Show the world how we are all beautiful just simply by smiling. It may change the trajectory of someone's emotion throughout the day. So, blessings to your day. Bye.